Well, let me move to my gas or pass then.
Okay.
So my gas or pass is the Marshall JCM 2000. This is a weird one for us.
This is a throwback.
This is a throwback, and this is a weird one for us. But I kind of fell upon some of these on Reverb the other day.
Okay.
I didn't fall on them. I wasn't walking through Reverb and tripped and fell on them.
Oh
my gosh.
this.
But I was just scanning through like recently added, because I do that sometimes.
Sure.
And
As one does.
as we all do. And ran into a JCM 2000. It's the dual. That's the only one I would want. They make a TSL or a DSL version. The DSL is the one I would want that's only got 2 channels. TSL's 3 channels.
Hold up. I thought DSL always stood for digital, and T always stood for tube. I think I'm right.
Maybe you're right. Wasn't the JCM 2000 TSL? Wasn't it TSL?
Yeah, TSL. I thought it was tube and then digital.
No, that dual one's definitely tube. Maybe it's not called DSL then. Anyway, it's the dual. It's the 2-channel version of the JCM 2000.
Okay.
So they've got the heads out there. They don't make those anymore. They've got the DSL versions of the new heads they're making now, which are all tube. So that can't be right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a long time, and I just started playing guitar when those came out.
Yeah. So it's the previous iteration, basically, of the DSLs. So they made them in a 3-channel version and a 2-channel version. They're 100 watts. I mean, they've been played by everyone under the sun. They are like the epitome of backline Marshalls, basically.
Right.
You would get 900s or you would get JCM 2000s back in the day. And everybody from Ace Frehley to, I mean, literally every rock player out there. But they are on the market now for in the ballpark of like $700 to $750.
That's really not bad.
For a 100-watt Marshall head, 2 channels, master volume. I mean, it's got all the things. I'm not saying that...
The clean channel, not that great.
Not that great, no.
Not that great.
No. I haven't played one in a little while. I remember specifically playing a 212 version of one. It was the 3-channel version that was really good. And then I played the 2-channel version in a head and cabinet one time that was really good too. There were some quirks with it. A little funky, I think. You had to like get used to some of the settings. But for what it was really good. This would be a great backup head to have laying around.
That sucker is huge.
I know it's huge, but like your basement, when you take your basement out somewhere and you need a backup, rather than taking a combo amp and having to mic it and change up your cabinet and do all kinds of different stuff, you could have this in your car, and if your head goes stack it on top or lay it behind, do whatever you want to do, and if something goes out, you could literally set it up there and switch the cable over and flip it on and you're ready to go.
Yeah.
So is this a gas or pass for you? Is this something that you're interested in whatsoever?
No. I don't want one at all. And the reason for it is if I'm looking at something like that would be a gainy amp to, replace the basement or whatever, the first place I'm looking is an OR 50 or 30.
Okay.
I'm saying forget the Marshall DSL, TSL, whatever it is. I would look at Orange before Marshall. It's a simpler layout. And if I need a backup, I need something simple, quick on the fly.
Okay.
So I would go Orange. And they also have easy graphics. So, and their knobs are easy because they're huge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, to me, it just makes more sense to go Orange. For me.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I've never been like, let's plug into a plexi type of guy. Like, I've just never been that way. So, I would go Orange before I went with Marshall in this scenario.
Okay.
And also, it's like closer to the same price point. Orange is probably a bit more expensive. But that being said, to me, for the simplicity of it, it's worth the extra price point.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from. I wouldn't go with Orange, me personally. Mm-hmm. There's something about the fizziness of some of the Orange stuff I get sometimes that is not my cup of tea. Mm-hmm. I would definitely much rather go Marshall. Is this a gas or pass for me? I think right now it's probably a pass because I'm not using something like that.
Mm-hmm.
However, if I was playing in a gig where I'm using a head and cabinet all the time and my main head was a Marshall, this would be a complete gas for me. I wouldn't want a 900. I wouldn't want an 800.
What about a
So you got to
studio
crank it up. I think a studio is a great option, but
or a Silver Jubilee?
if I'm playing a 50-watt head though, I'm gonna want something similar to be able to run with it. And I think a 100-watt with a master volume, 2 channels.
That's fair.
It's way too
It's
easy.
hard to find.
Yeah.
Something that'll beat that out.
Silver Jubilee is a great idea too, but the Silver Jubilee can be way more expensive, and to use it for a backup kind of seems like a waste.
Yeah, that's fair.
So for me, I would give it a pass right now, but I think for anybody that's out there playing a Marshall head or even a 100-watt head or 50-watt head that needs a backup, that is a unbelievable price
Well, and
for
I just
a great
think about
backup.
like, 2000s rock music. You think of like the Darkness and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
that's what they used a lot.
That's what they were using
I
a
think
lot.
they're using plexis too, but you just think of that type of some 41 stuff like that. That would be perfect.
Yeah, for backup for like Airborne. Remember that band
Yeah.
that played?
Yeah,
Their backline.
that band that played.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did play.
I started going to more of that band that played, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Their backline all the time was JCM 2000 stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be a great option for people. I just don't think it's for me right now, so I'd give it a pass.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a definite gas for somebody out there.
Right.